Now that the option filling exercises for JOSA counseling is over, all the options are frozen, what is the next step? The next step is to wait for the result of the first round, which will come on 27th. So till that time, what is it that you can do? Just hope for the best. But there are a couple of questions on this freeze, slide, and float options, which students have to exercise once the result is known on 27th. So this short video will provide clarity on a couple of points. So first, let's start with the freeze option. But before that, what happens is that on 27th, when the results are declared, you will be allotted a particular branch and at a particular institute. That is what is going to happen. If based on your options, if you are likely to get, that is what will happen. Otherwise, you will not be allotted any branch. So then what are the options that you have? The first option that you have is what is called the freeze option. Now, what happens in the freeze option? This is from the business rules. I have just extracted this from the business rules, JOSA business rules. What it says is choosing the option freeze means that the candidate accepts the offered seat and indicates that the candidate is content with the allocated academic program and that the candidate does not want to participate in further rounds of seat allocation while keeping the same seat. Such candidate will not be considered in subsequent rounds of JOSA 2021 while their chosen seat remains allocated to them. Basically, what it means is that, for example, in the first round itself, I've got, say, IIT Hyderabad Computer Science. And I'm happy with it. I don't want to go up. I belong to Hyderabad. I like the institute. I like computer science. I don't want to proceed further. So I can just say freeze option. All right. So that means I accept the seat and I'm out of the counseling process. So that is first option that you can exercise. The second one is float. Now let's read this. What does float mean as per JOSA business rules? Choosing the option float means that the candidate accepts the offered seat and indicates that if admission to an academic program of higher preference in any institute is offered, the candidate will accept it. Else, the candidate will continue with the currently accepted academic program. Such candidates will be considered in subsequent rounds of JOSA 2021, if any. So what does it mean? Say, for example, I've given a number of options. My 64th option is IIT Kanpur Chemical Engineering. Okay. Now, above that, I have IIT Madras Chemical Engineering, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi Chemical Engineering. Before that, I have civil, I have mechanical, of a variety of institutions. All right, variety of institutes. So when I give a float option, it means that in my subsequent rounds, if I get any of the options above, I'm going to take it. So that's what it means. So I'm open to taking any seat that is offered to me, which is of a higher preference in my priority order. So most of you will be giving float option, okay? Because you've given so many options and in the order of your preference. So you would like to go up as much as possible in the list of options that you have given. So that is the float option, and all of you would be giving, most of you would be giving float option. Next is the slide option. Now, what is the slide option? Choosing the option slide means that the candidate accepts the offered seat and indicates that if admission to an academic program of higher preference is offered within the same institute. That's the difference between float and slide. Slide is within the same institute. The candidate will accept it. Such candidates will be considered in subsequent rounds of JOSA 2021. We will explain the difference between float and slide with an example. Now, I have taken this particular thing one student has sent me. Okay, so I have taken from 45 to 68. Before 45, he was given a few options. Now, let us say this student 67th option is IIT Madras Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. So first round, he's been allotted IIT Madras Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Okay, so if I give a float option, it means that in subsequent rounds I can be allotted any one of these things. For example, I can go up to IIT Kanpur Chemical Engineering or further above whatever I've given. So I can freely move and I can be allotted any one of them. So float means I'm ready to take any branch that is given to me higher up in the priority list that I've submitted. Slide, on the other hand, means that I'm interested in a better option only in IIT Madras. That means what are the options that I have? IIT Madras, I have got civil engineering, engineering physics, chemical engineering, aerospace, mechanical. So I can go only up to mechanical. I can only go up to 48 in my options list. So slide means within the same institute. Float means across all institutes, and most of you will be considering float unless you have some locational preference. Like, for example, you've got Madras and then you decided, okay, I'm not going to go to Delhi, Kanpur or whatever. I'm comfortable with Madras. Then you will go for the slide option. Okay, but a few things that you need to note about this, and there is a very common myth, common misunderstanding, not myth, common misunderstanding among parents. Let me explain that. This is again, I've extracted from the business rule, JOSA business rule. Now, what does it say? For candidates who choose the float or slide option, allocation of a seat in an academic program of the candidate's higher preference would automatically result in the forfeiture of the seat accepted by the candidate in the earlier round. Now, what does that mean? Let's go back to this example. Like, for example, I got first option, IIT Madras, first round, IIT Madras Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, and I went for a float option. All right. And in the second round, say, for example, I got IIT Roorkee Mechanical Engineering. So what will happen? As per JOSA business rule, I will be automatically allotted IIT Roorkee Mechanical Engineering, and whatever earlier branch that I've got, that will be cancelled. It will not remain. Some parents are thinking that you will be given an option to choose between this and this. Nothing of that sort. What it means is, what it float means is that higher order preference, whichever you have given, you're ready to take it. So if a higher order preference is given to you, is allotted to you, which automatically means that whatever was given to you earlier, that branch is cancelled and the new one is allocated to you. So that is what you have to consider. While I'm here, let me also tell you that whatever I get in the first round, if I want to remain in the counseling process, I have to accept it and proceed further. Suppose I'm not happy with whatever I got in the first round. If I don't take it, I'm automatically out of the counseling process. So please remember this. Some people are thinking, that's again another misunderstanding. Some people are thinking that in the first round, say for example, I get IIT Kharagpur Civil Engineering. I'm not interested in it. I don't want to take it. If you don't take it and if you don't upload your files, upload your documents, and if you don't pay the fees, you will be automatically out of the JOSA counseling process. So if you want to remain in the JOSA counseling process, you should accept whatever has been given and then go for float and then try your luck in the subsequent round. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. And similarly, when you give the float option, if you are allocated some other branch of a higher order priority as per your priority list, whatever branch that has been allocated to you in the previous round will get cancelled. That is common sense. But some people are thinking that they will get an option to choose between this and whatever you're going to get in the second round. No, no such option will be there. Okay, remember that. Okay, then slide and float options will be available to only those candidates who are not offered admission to their first choice. Obviously, suppose highest, my first preference is say IIT Bombay Computer Science, and I got IIT Bombay Computer Science. That's it. The only thing that I have got is freeze option, and there is no question of float and slide option. So that is one thing you got to understand. The next thing is that also one business rule which I have not put here is that suppose I give a float option in this round, in the subsequent round, I can go for a freeze option or a slide option. So a float can be converted to a freeze or a slide option subsequently. Similarly, a slide option which I have given now can be converted to a freeze option. But a freeze option cannot be converted back to a slide or a float. So to summarize, a float option, if I want to change it subsequent rounds, I can make a slide option, or I can go for a freeze option. Similarly, a slide option, if I have given in the first round or second round, in subsequent rounds, I can move to a freeze option. I can just freeze the branch and I'll say, okay, by the time third round comes out, perhaps I've changed my mind. I'm happy with whatever I've got. So I can just freeze my option and then get out of the counseling process. So this change is also possible. That is another business rule which I have not put up. So in short, please understand that float means across the branches, across the options that you've given, across the institutes. And slide means you can go up your preference order, but only in the institute that you have selected, only one institute. Okay, so that's the difference between freeze, float, and slide. I'm sure you've understood this, and if there are any further questions on whatever I presented, please put it in the comment section. Our team will get back to you. On that note, all the best, and hope you get a branch of your choice on 27th.